The streets will never make you grow. It's not a seed, it's a gutter. There's no happy endings in this life. So this is my message to you. The streets will never love you back.
Pow. What's up, guys? Well, I appreciate you guys waiting and being patient. I went bowling today with my children. I had a nice time. My little one brought her friends along, so she spent a little time with her friends, which she needs that sometimes. And I actually had a nice time too. I haven't bowled in a long time, but I really didn't realize how much it costs. Like, it's very expensive to bowl. It's like $25 a person. It's pretty sick, but everything's expensive today, I guess. But it's been a while since I sat down with you guys. A week. It feels like it's been a month since last Sunday, and I'm gonna give a shout out to some of you guys. I want to. Someone got in touch with me. Someone that watches the show, and he asked me if I could advertise his company for him. I don't know if it's a company. It's penfishingrods.com. So penfishingrods.com. I guess he sells fishing rods for people who like to fish. So check it out. I mean, I think it's global all over the country. I mean, it's pretty cool to fish. I'm not a fisher personally. I might have fished twice in my lifetime, maybe twice in my lifetime, maybe when I was a kid. And I know I fished one time when Gerard Bellafiore bought his Chris Craft, the 25-footer. We went on one time, and then after maybe 2-3 weeks, he was done. He said, "You know what? It's boring now." Well, I guess it's fun owning a boat, but it's very expensive to own a boat too. People who have money own boats. But I see Live and Let Live. Hi, Live and Let Live. It's good to see you. Boston J, my moderator. Live and Let Live, my moderator. Joey Frakes. What's up, Joey Frakes? Rob D. Gaetano Bracco. The Truth. Jennifer Ledette. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Thank you for the kind words. Joey Delamora. What's up, Joey? So all you guys out there, I appreciate the kind words, the love you send me, the support you give me. It means a lot to me. It really does. Mimo. Hi, Mimo. Chiba Man. Angelo Pennella. What's up, Angelo? Well, it's good to be here on another Sunday. The topic of today is life's memories and redemption. The depth of trauma, the things we did in the past, the people we lost in our lives. How do we deal with it? It's so hard, right? People come in your life, say your mom and dad. I lost my mom. She was 65 years old. Aneurysm, fell to the floor. We had Sunday dinner with her, and my sister called me on a Monday. No, my sister called me on a Tuesday and asked me if I spoke to mommy. I said, no, I haven't. And we ended up going to her apartment, and she was gone. That's how fast it goes, right? And my father, I remember my father, I was doing time. I used to speak with him over the phone. And I had my last conversation with him, which was a good conversation. It's just that every time I spoke with him, I used to get choked up, and he would get choked up. So what I do is I try to avoid the phone call. And then one day the unit manager comes in and he says, "Jimmy, you have to make a phone call." I called my house and my father was gone. So, the people you love, how we think we have tomorrow. And, it's one day at a time. And, you have so many blessings over here. All of us have blessings. We have people in our lives, family. We're very blessed just to have family. Thank God I come from a good family. No criminals in my family. I was the only one who looked up to the wise guys, fell to the street, and thank God every day I'm making my crooked path right. But all you guys showing up, it's very important to me that you're here, and I really appreciate it very much. Legs Cole, Richard Morella, Travis Jensen, Gerard. What's up, Gerard? Satin. Hi, Satin. How are you? Julio Santino. Tony Marie Ricci. Hi, Tony Marie. It's always good to see you in the chat. Tony Marie also has a wrench. If she needs to use it, I'm sure she's not afraid to use it to knock somebody in the head. Stephen Love and Sandria Guest. How are you? Uncle Jer. To all you people out there, thanks for showing up. It means a lot to me. It really does. And life ain't easy. We have a lot of battles we fight. Some people have it worse than others. And but we all are fighting some kind of battle, right? Whether it's waking up, you got to go to work. Of course, we all have to pay bills. Uh, who is not here no more, who's sick, who's caring for someone. And, life goes on. We lose people and life goes on. And we just got to do the best we can, working on ourselves and helping others if we can along the way. I mean, that's the best thing. I mean, that's what I want to do. I don't want to be remembered for doing the wrong thing. I want to be remembered for doing the right thing. So anyway, we're going to do the same thing like we always do. What I do is I put something in the chat. I put the link in the chat. You just grab the link, you come on, you chop it up with me. We can have a conversation, what's going on in your life and stuff like that. And we have a good time with it, Make a nice memory with this. It goes by very quick. Maybe we get 90 minutes in 2 hours today. Eddie G. I see you, Eddie G. Harris Paint. Steve Cutler. Tony Marie is a gem. Yes, she is. Of course she is. So I dropped the link. You guys want to come on, chop it up. You're welcome. I like to see some new faces today. It's always good to see new faces. Let me just keep on dropping the link. I like to drop it a few times. So is anyone following this Russia-Ukraine war? What do you guys think about it? I know it's a sad thing, just anyone going to war, innocent people getting killed, not easy. Definitely not. The world is going crazy. So the link is there. You guys can come in, chop it up. Now, I also want to say I was going to make a video of this, but while I'm here, let me make it interesting. So, when I was speaking to Joey Calco, he reached out to me on Facebook and he says something like, guess who this is? And I said, I don't know. I said, who is it? And then he tells me it's him. So, I end up, I want to see, what? So while he reached out to me, let me see what I could get out of him as far as, if he's going to tell me about the Paulie G murder and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm talking to him and I tell him, I said, you know what? Just to get some info from him of what went down and stuff like that. I said, I don't, that thing with Paulie, it's over, stuff like that. And he starts telling me about it. I said, but, tell me how it happened. And he told me, Joey Calco testified against Sparrow, that Sparrow gave him that order to kill Paulie Galino because Paulie Galino raised his hands to Anthony. And Joey Calco was a big witness, nothing compared to me because I had nothing to do with that murder. But, And then he tells me about when they drove over him and Tommy Reynolds to kill Paulie G. So he's telling me, and he says that Tommy Reynolds was the one that was supposed to pull the trigger. But as he's driving there, Tommy Reynolds tells me, he says, Joey, you have to do this one. This is an Italian thing. And that's, Joey points the finger to him. And then he tells me about the kid on Utrecht Avenue, the kid Jack Sharon, that murder, where he talks about Fabrizio and Tommy Reynolds, where Fabrizio and Tommy Reynolds was in the car. Now, that's a drug-related murder. And, that's actually a life bid murder. Anything drug-related, you could actually get life for that. And he tells me that when he shot the kid Jack, that Tommy Reynolds and Fabrizio took off on him, and that he had to run like 2-3 blocks to the car. And I said, really? I said, wow. But it just goes to show you that, you do things in the street, how you got to pay the price. And you think people are your friends. People aren't your friends. The same thing with Paulie G. He thought he was opening the door to his friends. And, obviously they weren't his friends. But I got this guy, Jay Black, in here. Let me see what Jay Black has to say. This is a new character. I haven't seen him before. So let me see what he has to say.
Hey, what's up, brother? I love your content. I watch you all the time. I can relate, even being from upstate New York. Because I used to run around up in northern Endicott. That's where Joe Barbera and his crew used to run. And I used to run around as a kid doing favors for the wise guys around here. So, and I've been in trouble. But I did a full 360. I didn't do no hard time, but being locked up was no fun, brother.
Yeah, have you ever done any time before?
A little bit of county time here and there for, but not no hard time.
Well, good for you. I mean,
But the rate I was going, I probably would have got locked up even more. But
yeah. So this is your first time on here. Your name is Jay Black, right?
Yeah, a little nickname. Cause I actually was raised a little bit in Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Oh, nice.
Flatbush, yeah, over by Church Ave, Flatbush, around that area.
Yeah, tough neighborhood.
Yeah. But I was born out here, but my grandfather used to make pizzas for a lot of guys up in upstate New York, where they had the Appalachian meeting back in 50. I think it was 57.
Okay.
And he knew all the guys, so he was known as the Pizza King around here because he had the best sauce ever.
Nice. Yeah, come to New York, you got the best sauce over here.
Oh, I already know. I love New York City pizza.
Yeah, good stuff. But the conversation today is life's memories and redemption.
Oh yeah. I know that. Now my redemption is me seeing what I've seen and actually turn my life around.
Beautiful. Sounds good.
And my memories of my grandfather, hanging out with these guys, tell me don't be a knucklehead, you know what I mean? But I didn't listen because I was a young dumb punk,
And then you learn your lesson.
Oh yeah. If I see my best friend get his brains blasted right in front of me when I was out in Illinois for a little bit, that just turned me straight,
Oh, tell me about that.
This guy, I used to hang out with. He robbed this dope dealer, and he was selling this stuff on the block. I knew the dope dealer. The dope dealer told me to walk away. As soon as I walk away, I heard the gunshot, and I looked over, and he laying there. And that's just I don't want that part of that life no more.
And when that happened, what was your reaction?
Really, it was kind of cold because I seen it before. I grew up around it, But then when I got home after I washed the stuff, like the blood and stuff off me, and like burnt my clothes and stuff, I was just thinking like, damn man, that could have been me.
Yeah, well, you're very lucky. But listen, it was nice talking to you.
Yes, brother, man.
Hey,
I
let me
love your content, man. I love your stories.
thank you, Jay Black. Keep on watching. I appreciate it, and come back.
I will.
And I'll see you soon.
Yep.
All right, brother.
All right, brother.
All right, Jay Black. Jay Black's a new one. Now I got Mike the Printer. Mike the Printer, I spoke with before. He's a gentleman. Let's see what he has to say. Now, I also wanted to say, you know what happened was I spoke to Brian Glaze Gibbs today, and I'm going to have Brian Glaze Gibbs on this week sometime. I'll put that on my Instagram and Facebook tomorrow when I'm going to have him on. I'll also put it on my YouTube channel. This way you know when he's going to be on. It'll be sometime this week. But Brian Glaze Gibbs, he was a serious character back in the day. You know, he was a thug, a hoodlum, and he grew up with some serious guys, man. And he got picked up. I think they accused him for that Edward Burns murder with the police officer. And all those guys were serious characters. Fat Cat and those guys. But he's going to be on this week. He's going to be a great interview. So hopefully you guys are there going to check it out. I know you guys are going to check it out. So let's see what Mike Printer has to say. What's up, Mike? How's everything?
Hey, Jimmy, everything's good. How about you?
Good. Nice to see you.
You too. You too. Did you go bowling?
I went bowling. You know,
That's great.
I went bowling with my little one and her friends and the friend's father. We had a nice time. You know, after the kids get together, they just they don't want to bowl. You know, they bowl for maybe an hour and then they want to just play around and dance around. And the thing is, you know what? These bowling alleys today, I tell you, it's nothing compared to when I grew up or maybe when you grew up.
Sure.
I mean, today they got a bar in there. You know what I mean? They serving food.
Yeah.
Look, they got music going on. You know, everybody's dancing. I'm like, this is insane. I mean, you got these young kids. They're doing TikTok videos. I'm like, well, you know what? This is what's going on now. It's totally different compared to when I grew up. When we grew up, you just bowled, and you know what? That's it. You know what I mean? There wasn't no. You didn't order no food or nothing. Now you order food. You order a drink. You know.
Do you still got to get those funny shoes and everything?
You still got to get the funny shoes. Yes. Yes, you got to get the funny shoes. But you know what?
We haven't gone bowling in years. I
tell you, you know what? It's a fun time. You know what? I didn't realize how expensive it was. I mean, it's $25 an hour. They charge you by an hour, and that's including the shoes. You know, this is New York City, so you know somewhere else is probably cheaper. But you know, it was a fun time, nice memory I made with my kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, my daughter hated to leave her little friend. You know, my daughter's 8 years old. But you know what? I told her tomorrow's school and we'll do it again next week. But
yeah,
listen,
you're a good dad.
Thank you. Yeah, hey, it was a good time. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, that's good.
What's new with you?
It made me think of my dad, and you were talking about people who have passed and you know who were in your life and were in your life, and you know it's Lent season now. You know.
Yes.
So I mean, they raised us Catholic, going to all Catholic school. You know, most of our lives, and my dad was right off the boat from Ireland, and every Lent, you know, you gave something up. So he always gave something up, and we all tried to do it with him. And now that he's gone, I do it very diligently now, you know. And I mean, I don't even go to church, but I do this, and I do it for my dad. And every year I give up. I've been doing it for probably 11 or 12 years now. I just give up beer because I like to drink beer on the weekends, or I'm doing something, or hanging in the yard, you know. And have a few beers. So I give it up for the Lent, and like today's like day 11 or 12. And it's easy when you're doing it for a good reason, you know? And
you know what? And that's a beautiful thing because you're doing it in the memory of your dad.
Right.
You know? And you know, I go through photos. My sister has all the photos. And you know, every time I go to the house, she says, Jimmy, take these photos. And I'm like, you know, hold on to them. When I come next time, I'll take them. Yeah. But she sent me a couple photos. That photo that I put up, that's my father. My father was a sharp-looking guy. He was a handsome guy. And
That was some mustache.
yeah, back in the day, he had a little tattoo over him on his hand. He belonged to a gang when he was a kid. He told me all about it, and those memories, when I go back to those memories and I look at those photos, it's just it makes me happy.
Yeah, sure. My dad, he would not take us bowling, but he'd always take me over to Sheepshead Bay, and we'd get on one of the charter boats, and he'd say, "Bring a friend." I'd bring some friend who was puking all day, and my father would give us ginger ale like it was some kind of elixir, and you'd drink the ginger ale, you'd be like, "I feel better," But just good memories, yeah.
And my father was a drinker, so eventually my father moved to Manhattan. Him and my mom separated. He moved to Manhattan, but he worked all his life. He stayed with the same job for over 35 years. He was in a company called Whitehall Moving and Storage. The company no longer exists. He ran the building, and that's what he did. He worked all his life, and he instilled that in me.
Right.
And he got me into the union when I was a kid, and I worked maybe a day here, a day there, but then eventually I fell to the street, working. I wasn't. I said, what, this is better than working. I was making some money on the street, but he tried to put me in the right direction. And he was a drinker. After work, he would go to the bar and drink. And back in those days, he could bring his young kids into the bar.
Sure. My wife tells me stories like that too.
Yeah.
My father used to bring her in.
Yeah. There was a bar on Reed Street called McGovern's. And we would sit on the bench, and he had this old man, Sonny. Sonny was a black guy. That was his good friend. And he had some other guy, Big Jerry. And he would order us cheeseburgers, and the cheeseburgers were like this big. And they were huge. And I would walk in there with my friends. We all eat cheeseburgers, have a Coke and soda, But, he treated us good. He was a great father. He really was. And in the last dying days of his life, he said, Jimmy, I wish I could have did better for you. And I said, you did the best you can. You were a great father. And, I had nice conversations with him. Yeah. But, then he was gone.
Yeah.
Because he died pancreatic cancer.
Yeah, I have a brother who died the same way.
Yeah, it sucked.
The doctor told him 4 months, and in 4 months, he was gone.
Yeah, the doctor told him something like that, maybe 6 months, and he died within 11 months, but he died standing on his feet. He's a strong guy, and so those are my memories of him. I have a lot of good memories of him, and I like to talk about him.
Yeah, the stash I saw in the picture. My dad once, he grew a mustache, and my mom, he comes downstairs after shaving. He's got this mustache, and my mother, and there was a wedding coming up. One of my brothers was having a wedding, and she looked at him and she was like, what the hell is that? And he was like, it's my mustache. I'm going to wear it to the wedding. She was like, get it off right now. You're going nowhere with that thing. I think his mustache lasted about 10 minutes.
You know what it is? But back in the day, a lot of those guys, they wore mustaches.
Yeah.
And my father was no knocking around guy. I mean, he wasn't no street guy. I mean, he belonged to a gang back in the day. He told me about. But listen, hey, he wasn't no slouch either.
No.
I mean, his forearms. He had these big forearms, and
Yeah. My dad would ride the train to the junction. Coming in and out of Manhattan for work. And like these punks would come up to him. I was on the train with him one time when it happened. And I'm like, and the guy comes up to him and says, give me a cigarette, and he's got him right here in his pocket of his shirt. And he says, I don't have any. And the guy says, I see them right in your pocket. He says, I don't have any for you. And I'm like, oh shit, give him the cigarette. We're going to get killed. And the guy went to grab my father, and my father with one arm pushed this guy away. He just went on his way after. He felt the strength he had in his arm, and he just left.
And you know what? Listen, you got that Irish blood in you. I'm saying that's some strong.
He was ready.
Blood. And the thing is, look, back in the day, I mean, listen, the generation before us was a lot tougher than us.
I believe it. You're right.
They didn't take no bullshit, And as you see, and as you know, as the generations go by, the bloodline gets milked down.
Hey,
get
they better clean up this Ukrainian thing, because could you imagine if our 18-year-old kids had to fight now? We'd be screwed.
Oh, forget it. Absolutely.
These kids don't want to fight. They want to hug it out.
You know what? That's another thing. You know what? I have a niece, and she has a boyfriend. This kid was maybe a couple of years back. I asked him, I said, "You ever been in a fight?" He was like maybe 23, 24 years old. And he said, "No, I never had a fist fight." I said, "You never had a fist fight?" When I was a kid, when I was about 8, 9 years old, I had a fight. Back in the day. I mean, you know what? But it's a totally different time today. And listen, I'm not encouraging fighting, but you know what? Listen.
No.
I mean, the way the world is today, you got to learn how to defend yourself.
If you can't defend yourself, you're going to be taken advantage of. So
of course, absolutely.
You have to. I grew up in a home with 5 older brothers, so I learned how to fight real quick, because you get your ass kicked every day. And when I got out on the street, I was ready. I didn't care how big they were. Even if I lost, I fought.
Oh, you had to. You had to.
Yeah.
And look, I come from a big family. On my mother's side, my mother's mother, my grandmother had 15 kids. 15 children from one guy. And my Uncle Jackie, he was tough. My Uncle Nicky was tough. My Uncle Anthony's tough. All my uncles, they were pretty tough. Even my aunts are tough. But coming from a big family, you learn quick, and it was nice. It was nice coming from a big family. Always going to my grandmother's house on a Sunday. Everybody's there. My aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and everyone's greeting each other, kissing each other hello. And who's in the room? Everybody's dancing, having a good time.
There was so many people at these parties and these weddings and affairs. I taught my wife how to do it. It's the Irish goodbye. You couldn't say goodbye to everybody. It would take you another hour. So we would just go right out the back door. And
the thing is, you know what? And today it's totally different, because people don't want to be around other people.
No. Yeah, nowadays, yeah.
It's a lot different now.
No. Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Nobody wants to be around nobody now.
No. If you tried to have a barbecue at your house, you'd be lucky if you got 5 or 10 people to show up. Years ago, you'd get 40 or 60.
Exactly. Years ago, when people came to the house, you greeted them, come in, have a piece of cake. My mother would put out the coffee. Now today, people come to the house, don't answer the bell.
No, forget it. We had a little priest. We had a priest from St. Vincent Ferry. He'd come down every Tuesday. He'd walk down, say hello to bring the doorbell, come in. She'd sit him down as if it was like a job. Sit him down, pour him a little whiskey, give him a piece of cake. He'd eat it, drink the whiskey. I blessed this house. He'd walk out the door. And it was like that all day. Who got $10? Who got $5? Who needed this? Who needed that? All day.
Yes, back in the day, everybody helped each other. If someone needed a helping hand, the neighbors and people were there. Now today, it's a different ball game.
No, they don't want to know. Nobody wants to know nothing.
Yep. And
so you got to get one of those. You grow a mustache like your father down there, like that, a big mustache.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah.
All right, you're doing great. You're a great dad. Thanks for putting me on and talking with me. And
now, Mike, while I have you on, are you still doing the printing?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
okay.
All kinds of stuff. Like I said, don't ever hesitate to call me. Even if it's just a question. If somebody's supplying you with something and you just want to check the price, say, Mike, what do you think of this number? I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly what it would be out of our location for garment printing in New Jersey. In Long Island City, where I'm based primarily, it's more paper printing, like brochures and postcards and business cards and banners and billboards, even signage for the MTA, that kind of stuff. That's not all my work. That's my partner's work, but we're associated with them. And his brother owns the garment end of it, which is in New Jersey. And people know they call me because they know I print on paper, but they know I have the contact in New Jersey. And I just pass it through, here's the job, boom, boom, boom. And they got great pricing. I remember we had discussed pricing, and the one item I remember you were getting very good pricing. The hats I thought was a little higher, and then I told you the price out of my place, and it was a little lower because I remember you you had liked the number. But shirts, hats, these hoodies like I'm wearing now, all that stuff, we do that for all of our clients. And it's more of a service thing, that whatever the percentage is the salesman gets, that goes on my book. But primarily printing, paper printing, brochures, postcards. Right now we're doing, folders, presentation folders and presentation posters. The schools, we do a lot of signage for the schools, the signs you see outside people's houses, 2022 graduate,
Yes.
the lawn signs. We do all of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to you. I have your number in my phone.
Yeah. I have your number in your phone.
What I have is I have new logos. I want to put on some T-shirts. I still have a couple T-shirts left, but they're old ones, But I want to make some new stuff, so I'm gonna probably reach out to you, make some new hats and stuff. I still have a whole bunch of mugs. What happened was my website. I'm creating a new website, and once it's done, then but I'm gonna reach out to you for sure.
Absolutely, anytime, even if it's just a question, Jim. Just give me a call, or if somebody's supplying you with something, and you want to check the number, just tell me what he's giving you. Tell me what the price is. I'll tell you if that's an accurate price or who can do better.
Absolutely, and I appreciate it.
Good, me too. It's always great to speak with you.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, it's almost golf time again. I'll be back on the greens.
You like the golf, right?
I love it. Yeah.
I like the golf too.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player today?
I don't know. I've always liked Tiger Woods just because it was amazing to watch him, and then he just recently got that award, and he was all choked up, and he's got his kids there, and his kid was presenting it to him. My dad liked him. He was great. But I guess my favorite of all time was probably Sergio Garcia. I really liked him too. And Gary Player, for old school, he was more, I liked him more than like the Nicholas or the, the Palmer, where they were real business people. And he was real down to earth guy. But the Sergio Garcia guy I love, because one time I bet I don't know, just on a whim, like $20 for him to win.
Was it big odds?
Yeah, because he's never won, And then when he played, I think it was in Bethpage, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, and you got to make that bet. You can make the bet a week before, but the odds are lower. I made this bet when the season started, and I'm like, I got $20 on Sergio to win the freaking Masters, and he won.
Just on a whim.
I just said, I'm going to go with Sergio Garcia. This kid should win. I just felt he was due to win something big. He hadn't had a major, young, strong guy, really good player, always coming in the top 10. No big win. I said, he's going to get a win. And he got it.
And I'll tell you, and that Tiger Woods, he's amazing.
I mean, it's something that, you have to be grateful that you got to see that in your lifetime. Nobody played golf like him.
And this guy, I don't know if you see the video. I think he was on, the Johnny Carson show or something with his father one time.
Yeah, he was like 5.
Like he was 5 years old and he had a golf club in his hand.
Amazing. I've seen the clip.
It's insane.
Yeah. And now his kid is becoming a golfer, and he's doing pretty good. He played like a father-son thing with him. And I thought the kid was carrying him. He was scoring more than the father.
Wow.
That'll be interesting to see in the future. He's still young yet.
That'd be fun.
But watching golf on TV is good too, because you turn it on, and the next thing you know, you're sleeping.
And you know what? I like to watch the women too.
Yeah.
Which one's the Chinese girl?
There's so many of them. There's the Cho and the Cho.
Michelle. Which one is it?
Oh, Michelle Wee. She was really
Michelle Wee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michelle Wee.
She's had some injuries, so she's been off. But the watching the way the women swing the club and make contact with the ball, and the ball, it just goes flying straight, and you can't duplicate it. It's unbelievable.
I also like to watch the tennis matches.
Yep. The my wife likes the tennis, and the funny thing is, the tennis. When you watch the tennis, it's always on when it's like a big meet. It's always on real early in the morning.
Yes.
Because I think most of the tournaments are like in Europe or something. So
Yeah.
I always get a kick out of that when I hear the tennis going on the TV early in the morning. I'm like, what is she watching? And boom, she's sitting there watching tennis.
Yeah, I'll tell you some good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the women golfers are better than the men.
You know what? That's the. I mean, listen, it looks like that. You know, the way they play, it looks like that.
The men, it's all about hitting these missiles and how hard can they hit it and how fast can they swing. Where the women, they just swing a steady, flow, like, and it just boom. And I'm amazed every time, right down the middle.
Now, when they take that first shot, right, and they get it in the hole, that first shot, is that a birdie?
That's a hole in one.
That's hole in one.
Ace.
Now what's the birdie?
A birdie is when you're one. A birdie is when you're one under par. So you get a bird. You get what you call a bird. And if you get two under par, it's a. I got one. I got it written on one of my golf balls up here, and that's even better. So an eagle. That's called an eagle. And I got that once. That's when you get it. What you just said, the second shot. So if it's a par 4 and you get it in 2. If it's a par 4, so they're saying you got to get it in 4 shots, right? So if you get it in 3 shots, you got a bird. If you get it in 2 shots, you got an eagle. And if you get that thing right in the hole, and some people can do that on a par 4, and it's hard.
Some people did it, and you know that's amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. Most hole-in-ones, though, they have been done on par 4s, but most hole-in-ones are on par 3s. So that's when you're supposed to get it in 3. And that's where real hole-in-ones come from, most of them, and probably
Yeah, it's a good game.
The highest percentage, but it's a lot of fun. It's good exercise. You're out with a couple of guys, you're in the sun because it's got to be a nice day. Who wants to golf in the freaking rain? And we have a great time.
Yeah, it's a good game.
So you drive out here one day and you come golfing with me.
Listen, absolutely.
I got a set of clubs for you and everything. Just show up.
Look, for sure, 100%. Definitely.
That would be great.
I love to do that.
There's a golf course right around the corner from my house.
I love to do it. For sure.
I don't belong to no fancy club or nothing. You don't have to out here. You just go. Some are 40, some are 50, some are 80, some are 90. You don't have to worry about that. You would be my guest.
Listen, you know what? I'm going to take you up on that.
It would be great, man. You tell me. As soon as the weather gets nice, we're going.
I'm going to do that.
I'm going golfing with Jimmy Calandra.
100%. Definitely.
He's
we're
like,
doing
okay. And you're paying.
Mike, thank you.
He's one of our new clients. I got to take him golfing regularly.
I'm coming. Believe me, I'm coming.
Man. We're going to have a blast.
Definitely, I'm coming.
Cool.
I appreciate it.
I wish we could have did that meetup thing at the Palm, too, in Manhattan. But nobody's going there anymore. Nobody's going into Manhattan. I got no reason to go there anymore.
I'll tell you, what? Look, I worked in Manhattan yesterday, and look, I don't take the train. Okay,
nobody wants to take the train.
Yeah, I don't take the train. What I do is I drive in, or what I'll do is I drive to Jersey and I'll park my car in the lot and I hop on the truck with the guys. Because I'm not taking no train.
No, nobody wants to get on the train.
The last time I took a train, you have a lot of mental patients out there.
Right.
And what they do is they stare at you. They want to have a staring contest. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't doing this no more because you're going to end up hurting somebody and you're going to end up destroying your life.
My neighbor's a cop. He's got a gun. He don't even want to get on the train to go to Manhattan. He drives now. And
all the homeless people are sleeping on the train. And believe me, the trains right now, they got to clean them up. And hopefully,
that's why I'm not going in.
Yeah, and hopefully, they could do something with these mental patients and the homeless people and help them in some kind of way. Because New York is really it's going to.
It's sad, and it's sad for them that they're not getting the help they need. And they're burying all kinds of stories that you're not even hearing about. I mean,
they're hiding
one This guy's sitting in a restaurant that we would frequent, right? We used to go there 3 times a week, and either for lunch or after work for drinks. And this homeless guy shows up right in the window of the restaurant, pours gasoline over himself, and lights himself on fire.
That's crazy.
I mean, that man obviously needed help. I mean, and nobody helped him. And then this is an awful thing going on in the streets. Just terrible. You didn't see that on the news. They don't want you to know that shit.
That's insane.
Yeah, you could look it up. There's a video of it online. It's terrible. And I'm like, why wasn't this on the news? And the Long Island City, business coalition, they bringing it to people's attention, saying, look at this. We got to clear these streets out. It's sad.
Yeah, they don't want nobody to know.
But what's sad also is that the people that need the help, they're not getting it. They're just getting released onto the subway stations and out in the street, sleeping out in the street.
And you know what? The good people, and the good people are paying the price. I mean, look at the guy who shot that innocent girl. What was it, Burger King or something?
Yeah. She was
the guy told the girl. The guy told the girl, you know what? Give me the money, and the girl gave him the money, and he killed her anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's terrible.
It's terrible. It's sad. It really is. It's sad.
It really is. And that if they would just get these people the help that they need and not just dump them off on the street. I mean, I used to see it even pre-pandemic. I forget what day it was. I think it might have been Thursdays. Like if I used to travel off hours out of Penn Station, and you would come out of Penn Station, especially if you went to the 8th Avenue side, because that was like, holy crap. They were all selling their prescription drugs right on the corner. But there would be a day that a bus would pull up. One of those blue buses, not a city bus, but like a corrections bus. They'd open up the door, and here all these guys getting off with their clear plastic bags with all their belongings in their life, in the bag, and they would all just disperse into the city and into Penn Station, and they had nowhere to go. They didn't have jobs, they didn't have money, they didn't have family to go to. Half of them, needed mental help. They're dropping them off at the wrong place. They should be dropping them off somewhere where they could be really rehabilitated.
And what they're doing too is like they're creating these tents like right in front of these establishments. It's insane.
I know. My buddy Larry told me. He said, "Mike, don't come up this way." He said it's like tent city over here. It looks like a war zone. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's out of control.
I mean, I think we've seen our best days and had our heydays in what Manhattan, places like Brooklyn and Queens were like. I think, this is why people are hiding out these days.
I'll tell you, another thing is too, I mean, it's so expensive over here.
My God.
I mean, look at the price of gasoline.
Unbelievable. I mean, I lost more than half my business in the pandemic. I mean, I did a lot of printing for real estate companies. They're not doing nothing. They won't even print business cards for new employees if they find a new employee.
Wow.
It's like I used to do these beautiful brochures. And, they want to show off their property, right? So when somebody comes in, you want to stuff something in their hands. I used to print all that stuff. This one guy, he owned buildings from Miami to Manhattan. And every time he had a board meeting, we did these beautiful books for him. Beautiful. With covers made of velour and leather and stamped with silver and gold. I mean, beautiful. He don't print those no more. He's got no investors to show them to. His buildings are empty. It's fucked.
Yep. It's insane.
Yeah. I'm lucky that I get a couple of jobs here and there so I could still go golfing. Buy some fucking bologna.
Wow. But I'm going to give you some business, that's for sure.
Let me tell you, regardless of that, somebody is selling you something print related. You got to give me a call. Tell me what they're giving you. Tell me what they're showing you. Tell me what they want from you. I'll tell you if you're getting a good deal. I don't even care if my guys are producing it. I want to know that you're not getting ripped off.
No, absolutely. Of course. I'll definitely touch base with you.
Good. Beautiful. I'm glad we got to speak again.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Anytime.
And I'll see you soon.
You got my number.
And I'll be taking you up on that.
Hell yeah, man. You definitely are. We're waiting for the nice weather and we're going to get out there.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Be well. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless. Bye, Mike.
Bye.
Mike the painter. Great guy, man. Great guy. See people like that, great people, man. There's a lot of good people out there. You know, those are the people you gotta put yourself around. Good people. You know, and it's hard to find good people today. I see you, Coach. Coach, you're up next, okay? Just give me a minute. And Joey D, I see you. Let's see, Margaret Hearn. Hi, Margaret. How's everything? New York Dad. What's up, New York Dad? Let's see what the coach has to say. What's up, Coach? How's everything? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Your volume.
Jimmy, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you now.
Jimmy, you got to forgive me. I'm older than you. I'm not that techie. So if you could help me, I'll go slow with me, Jimmy. Go slow. First thing I want to say, you got a phenomenal show, and God bless you, brother. Love your show. Love your show, man.
You know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. God bless you too.
I have to give you a little background. I did not know you from the neighborhood. I wouldn't lie and say I knew you, but I grew up on 18th and 81st Street, right down the block from Caserta Tiles.
Okay.
Gus Ferracci got killed right on my corner. And
Yes.
I knew the two brothers. I knew Louie and Nicky. They lived right around the block on 80th Street. So
Yes.
I just kind of want to say that, I know credibility. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I've been defending you in the chat a long time because that guy that attacked you, I think it was about a week ago, and I made a comment saying, don't put up with this guy. And I love your comment back. You said, I can handle him. That was a real Bath Beach comment, my friend. That was great.
Yeah, these guys, I tell you, you know what? Look, if that's all they got with YouTube is, you know what? Let's throw up a picture of him. Let's put a helmet on him. Let's do this. You know what? That's not good enough. I'm saying you got to come see me. You know, they got to come see me. I'm saying you're not going to hurt me. First of all, I got God on my side. Okay, that's first. Okay, so you know what? You can't touch me. Okay, and the thing is, if you come anywhere in my person, you're going down. You know, that's number two. Okay, because I'm not taking no bullshit. As much as I love God, I'm no fool. Okay. I lost a lot of friends, and I'm here for a reason, you know. But
if I could ask you a question, you talk about the neighborhood a lot, and we talk about going out to clubs and stuff. I'm a little older than you, but I'm not as old as Sammy. Did you ever go to the Plaza Suite? Were you a regular there? Because I was a.
Well, let me tell you where it is. The Plaza Suite was on 86th Street and 18th Avenue. Okay. Right on the side, and then it became Romeo and Juliet.
No, Jimmy, I hate to correct you. No. That was actually it was gallery. It was we called it the shooting gallery, but I think that was night gallery on 18th and 86 was night gallery.
No. You're talking about McDonald Avenue and 86th Street.
Yes.
Okay.
Sammy's place. Sammy Urbano.
Yes. That's the Plaza Street. Yes. I was in there maybe 2 or 3 times. Okay. I went there with my friend Gerard a couple of times. They had a pool table in there too at one time. Okay. And I was there a couple of times, and I saw a couple. Yeah, I saw a couple faces, and then I went like this. I said, you know what? This is a place I'm not going to frequent too much, because Bath Avenue, as you know, is all the way down. That's out of my range.
Oh, absolutely.
Now I'm dealing with a different crew.
You were listen. There was a watermark. There was like a cutoff line, and that was below the cutoff line. I understand that. I want to share a funny story with you. True. Yeah, absolutely. I was from 18th Avenue. Even I lived on 18th and 81st. And I'm going to tell you something. Even that was separate than Bath Avenue. And I think you would agree with that, right? You had 18th Avenue guys. You had Bath Avenue guys. You had 13th
100
Avenue guys. Am I right?
100%. Absolutely. And so you remember
Now
out of skates. You remember out of
yeah.
skates on 18th Avenue.
Yes.
Now, when I was a kid in out of skates with me and my friends, and Louis Tuzio chased us in there. What happened was we were flirting with his sister, and one of us touched his sister's ass, and he came and he started chasing us, and we jetted out of there. I mean, he had a couple of years on us, and once we saw him, we like, let's get the fuck out of here.
His sister was Nicole. His sister,
Yes.
I believe her name was Nicole, if I remember right. Yes. Now, I'm going to give you a quick story. I think you would appreciate this. When I was growing up, we all wanted to go to Plaza Suite because it was the closest place instead of going down to Pastel's. And I'm a little older than you. Pastel's was originally Penthouse. So Penthouse, we couldn't get into, but we could get into the Plaza Suite. So we would go up to McDonald Avenue, go up to 86th Street. So the last time I ever had to wait online was the night that guy Frankie Fiala got shot right in front of the club. Me and my friend Big Rick. My friend Big Rick was about 6'5", and we're waiting online, and all of a sudden we see this guy walking towards the club. We were literally 3 people away. All of a sudden, some guys come over. They killed. Shots fired. They killed the guy. We ran from Lake Street all the way back to 18th there. We left the car there. We didn't even think about getting a car. True story. Now, obviously, we've seen Sammy talk about it. And now this is how the world is. Now, once that took place, my cousin became partners with Sammy in the Plaza Suite later on. So I was the king. I never waited online again, by the way, after that. But what a crazy night. I literally ran from McDonald Avenue back to 18th Avenue. You know, that's a pretty long distance. Past L&B, past where John's Deli. I ran past the garage all the way back to 18th Avenue. True story.
The garage on Stillwell Avenue.
Yes.
And it's still there. It's still there.
Since you were from Bath Avenue, yeah, it's still there. Still there. And I got to tell you something funny about the garage. Even back in the day, when you wanted to buy a suit and you wanted to be right and you wanted to look right on you, there was, I can't say anything, there was one African-American guy that worked in there. And that's the guy you wanted to see. I don't remember his name, but he would set you up with the perfect size suit, the perfect shirt. You look like $1 million when you went there. I wish I could remember his name. And back in the day, though, I got to be honest, that was a bit of an oddity because that was an Italian place. But he was the guy to see. You don't want to see anybody. He was the best. I don't know if you remember that guy. He was great.
Yeah, and behind the desk, you had the old lady, which was the mother of the guy who owned the joint. Right?
100%.
And she always, she always looked good. Right? She was always sharp looking. She always she would always try to sell you a tie or something. But I had my uncle that worked there.
Socks. How about socks?
I'll tell you, what? Listen.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, maybe you knew my uncle Nicky.
The best.
You remember Nicky?
I know. I don't know him personally. I know who he is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And
the lady, whenever you bought, I'm going to tell you what the lady used to try to sell you. She used to try to sell you socks, a belt, ties, anything she could add on the bill. I don't know if she got a percentage, but and you always felt bad. Am I right? You always felt bad. You were like, yeah, I'll take the belt. I'll take the socks. These socks will match perfect. Yeah. This tie. She used to sell you ties all the time. It was great. One question for you. Do you remember the St. Finbar's? Remember when they had the bazaars in the back with the gambling? They had the dice and they had the wheels. Do you remember that?
Of course. Of course.
My father.
I'll tell you, I was baptized in St. Finbar's.
So was I.
Yeah, I was baptized there. It's a beautiful church. And then growing up, they also had the dances over there. And we would go to the dances in St. Finbar's.
Yes. Yeah. Before we could get into clubs, you went to St. Finbar's for the dance. The girls, right?
St. Finbar's is right on Bath Avenue on between Bay 19th and Bay 20th, and then you got the Rutherford. But St. Finbar's, those are nice memories over there. Now it's and it used to be a Catholic school. It's not a Catholic school no more.
No more. No more.
Yeah, no more.
No more. I think it's a Russian charter school or something like that.
Yeah.
But my father used to run. He was in charge of all the gambling there. At the bazaar, my father was in charge of the gambling, the dice game, the wheel game, you know, all that stuff, the blackjack. He used to run the gambling there back in the day. God rest his, my father passed. God rest his soul. He was in charge of all the gambling in St. Finbar's Bazaar. So I practically lived there. When the bazaar was there, I would be living there, you know?
Yeah. So
one other thing, Jim, do you remember, one thing, if I could ask you, do you remember going back, do you remember the Pioneer Savings Bank when they hit that and they hit all the security boxes? Do you remember that?
Come on, are you talking about on 86th Street and between 16th and 15th Avenue? Okay, listen.
Was that? Well, I might have the name wrong.
That was.
I might have the name wrong. Was it Pioneer?
It was. I know what you're talking about. Okay, and what happened was, actually, a lot of wise guys had stuff in the safe deposit boxes. Okay, and they all got their stuff back. Okay, every one of them got their stuff back. I remember Georgie the Chico had some stuff in there, and he ends up getting his stuff back too. And that was Gas Pipes crew that did that. That was Carmine Sessa. I think he was involved in that. Sally Fusco, Mikey Bloom back in the day. But they had some crew. I forgot the name. I forgot the name of their crew. What they called it.
I don't remember. I know what you're saying. But I think the name of the bank, it was a weird bank. It wasn't like the Dime Savings Bank or Citibank. It was an off name like Pioneer something Savings Bank. And they hit that bank on like a 3-day weekend.
That's the way you do it. And
it
they
was
were
like
inside.
Just say Memorial. I don't remember.
Yes.
Right.
And they were oh, it was called the Bypass Gang. It was called the Bypass Gang.
They got in. Apparently they got in, right? They got in on like 85th Street and got onto the roof. And all weekend, the legend has it that all weekend, like the bank alarm was ringing and the police would come, look at the door's locked. There's nothing wrong with the front door, and they would leave. Meanwhile, the guys supposedly were emptying out every safe deposit box in the whole bank. And when I tell my friends this, they don't believe me. I tell them this is a true story. This is not made up. That's what they did. It was a crazy robbery. It was unbelievable.
You're going back to maybe 83, 84, you know, something like that. But you know, back in the day, you got to remember also there was no cameras. You know, there was no cameras. Yeah. Look, the whole 86th Street was getting robbed every weekend.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely. One thing or another. And I'll tell you another thing, and this never comes up. Sammy's got a great podcast. And I'll tell you what, the fact that I watch Sammy, and it brings back so many memories from living there when I was younger. It's amazing. I know the story. You went out to go see Sammy. You stayed with him a few days. That had to be unbelievable. And one of the things Sammy did own in Bensonhurst, and he doesn't talk about it because it's a minor thing. He owned a small store on 86th Street between 19th Avenue, almost opposite the Dime Savings Bank, called the Hole in the Wall.
Of course,
and
I remember
the Hole in
the Wall. It was right. Listen, it was two stores off the corner on 19th Avenue. Two stores off the corner, 19th Avenue. Okay, now it's a fruit store. Yes, I remember that place, and there was always a sexy blonde in there.
The store was so small, they named it Hole in the Wall. Now, What I remember, and if Sammy ever talks, he could correct me. I'll stand by whatever he says. But growing up in the neighborhood at the time, we were buying designer jeans, like Jordache jeans, and I don't remember the other brand. It wasn't even Calvin Klein. It was like Jordache. And we would pay a lot of money for the jeans. But the Hole in the Wall had the jeans for the half price, right? So you would go in there and you would kind of say, how come this is so cheap? Don't ask any questions. Don't ask any questions. They're cheap. That store was the first store to do tag jobs on clothes, knockoffs. Because when you brought those jeans home and you threw them in the wash, all the blue came out. I swear to God, it's the truth. I don't know if you remember that. It was hilarious. And sometimes you got a good pair where the blue didn't come out. And instead of paying, I don't remember what we paid at the time, say $50 a pair for Jordans, you paid like $20 and you felt like you got over. Do you remember that? It was hilarious. It was great.
Sure. Yep. I remember, listen, I remember the hole in the wall. You know, listen, those times, well, and then you had S&J jeans. Remember S&J jeans on 28th Avenue? But yeah, don't listen. You know what it is? You know what it is? Look, people can never comprehend how the neighborhood was. You see that neighborhood where you are over there on 18th Avenue where you grew up? We know that neighborhood right there was all mobbed up. You know, that was the Gambino family over there. I'm saying? And you know, once you went down there from where I'm from, now you're in a totally different neighborhood.
Totally different.
Yep.
Totally different. If I came, I'll put it to you this way. No disrespect, but if I were going to go to St. Finbar's, just say the Bazaar, to go hang out with the guys, I didn't go alone. We would go with a crew of my guys that we hung out with, because all of your guys, and again, I didn't know you personally, but same idea, your guys would be hanging out down there. That was your territory, Bath Avenue. That wasn't 18th Avenue. And it also wasn't the guys from 13th Avenue. When we had the 18th Avenue feast, that was our home turf. And when the guys from 13th Avenue come up, you know what I'm talking about. That's just the way the neighborhood was. We all had our own areas that we were strong.
And the 18th Avenue feast started on 75th Street.
Correct.
Okay. And I think it went to what did it go to 65th? 10 blocks?
It actually originally it went all the way to 60th Street. Okay. And then as the years went, it kind of started shrinking. It really actually got much smaller. Yeah. But in our day, especially I'm just a little older than you. Again, not as old as Sammy, but it started shrinking as the years went on. Even in my day, it became 65th to 75th. And then, you know, but it was always a lot of fun. The feasts were the best. Then you had the Harway Avenue feast. Remember the Harway Avenue feast?
Of course, back in the day. But listen, we had the feast, and then we had the block parties.
Oh, the best.
The block parties. I mean, listen. People don't know about this. They don't know about the block parties, the feast. And then, wait, I'm gonna hit you with this one. You're gonna say, "Wow, Jimmy, you remember this?" How about the Italian group MGM? They used to sing over there.
Oh, yes. And I'm gonna hit you with you one. You ready? MGM, the best. How about this group, the Callops?
The Callops.
Do you remember the Callops?
Yep, of course, absolutely. But you know what? Listen, nobody could comprehend. Not even the way 86th Street was. How everyone used to drive and hang out underneath the L. Kidding me? Listen, people don't understand how this was. I mean, with the loud music going back and forth, everyone hanging out on the corners. It was insane.
You know, I'll share something with you. My corner, back in my day, we hung out in front of the Dime Savings Bank. And the theory we had, and it worked most of the time. Everybody drove back and forth. So, you know, you tried to pick up girls, you got the fancy car, you got the loud stereo. But we had an idea. We're going to hang out. We're going to take a spot in front of the Dime Savings Bank. Now, everybody's going to come and hang out with us. And it actually worked. And to the most part, the cops never bothered us because nobody lived in the bank. So we could blast the music. We could have all kinds of stuff going on and have a good time. But yet nobody made a complaint because it's only the bank. So my corner was the bank, right in front of the Dime Savings Bank. And then we would go out for the rest of the night. But you're exactly right. Nobody could imagine the cruising up and down 86th Street every night. It was just the best. It was so much fun. It was a lot of fun.
And that bank is still there, but it's a different name.
Yeah, it was huge. Remember how big it was? It was like a museum.
It's still there, but it's a different name. I think it's Chase Bank now.
Yeah, what fun. But Jimmy, I want to say, keep up the great work, man. God bless you. I'm glad everything's going well for you. Don't listen. If I could say anything to you, don't worry about what people say, because people like me that do listen to you, I never have a chance to get on. Truthfully, I was doing something today. I seen you were on live. I said, let me give it a shot. First time I ever been on the internet, by the way. But you got a great show. Keep going, because people like me, you make our day. We laugh. Some of the things are serious. I understand that. But God bless you. I hope your family's okay. Stay healthy, and God bless you, Jimmy. You're great.
Hey, Coach, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. You know what? God bless you and your family. And the thing is, look, if I got to worry about these guys, I got no worries.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But you know what? Thank you for the advice. I appreciate it.
Yeah, don't let them bother you, Jimmy. Listen, you got plenty of cred. I mean, I seen Tommy Dates the other night. You got so many great people on the show. Of course, Sammy Gravano, he talks highly of you. And listen, it is what it is. And I find sometimes people are just jealous. And you just keep up the good work. You take care of your family, your kids. And God bless you, Jimmy. All the best to you, pal. And listen, if I ever try to get on again, please try to let me on. You promise?
Listen, hey, stay in touch. Check out my email, therealjimmycalandra@gmail.com.
All right, Jimmy, I will. I will, pal. I'll send you an email, buddy. Thank you so much, and God bless you. All the best, Jimmy. All the best.
God bless you. You take care of yourself.
Take care, Jimmy. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye, Coach. That was Coach. Now Coach is a new guy that came on. I mean, it was nice to talk to him, going back to the old days and talking about the neighborhood. But he brought up a bank that was burglarized with the bypass gang back in the day. These guys were serious guys. I think Gas Pipe had something to do with that. Carmine Sessa, a few other guys, and these guys knew how to rob banks at the time. They were really good. And what happened was a lot of wise guys had all their jewelry and valuable belongings in the safe deposit boxes, and they slapped them all out. And eventually all the wise guys got their stuff back. So it's pretty amazing, and it's insane how, back in the day, these old timers and all these crews were, robbing and stealing, But the neighborhood, people can't comprehend how the neighborhood used to be. The neighborhood was a tough neighborhood, a serious neighborhood. Let me see this guy, what he's doing. Okay, he's on two of them. All right. What's up? What? I got you on two chats over here.
What's going on?
How's everything?
Oh man, good. It's beautiful today. I'm out around Sunday.
Yeah.
Yo, did you? Huh?
Yeah. What's new with you?
Not much stuff.
Yeah.
The thing that
you're breaking up.
Really?
Yeah, you're coming in and out. Maybe you got to come a little closer or something.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Did you watch the thing?
Yeah, I did. I did watch that.
Yo, bro, shit's crazy, man.
Yeah, that was something a little different.
Like the job and all that. Saw it?
Yeah, I seen that.
Yes, funny, Jimmy.
Yeah, you're going in and out.
Yeah, that's. I don't know what that. Hold on.
I see a New York Dad, Joey Smokes.
Jimmy, I don't know what's going on. I just want to get high,
Yeah, but yeah, come back in. You're going in and out.
Let me try.
Come back in. So, okay, maybe because you had two Church Avenue. Dan, I see you. Don Berlin. Let me talk to Don Berlin. Don Berlin. Now, Don Berlin, this guy is really a great guy. This guy, he reaches out to me with emails. He comes on here, gives me knowledge. This guy really is a a terrific guy. Let me put Don Berlin on. Don, how are you? I can't hear you. Now this guy Don is really good guy. I got 298 people in the chat. Thanks for coming in. Go ahead, Don. I'll wait for you. Boston J, I see you. Danny Sullivan. Can't figure it out? All right, well, listen, Don. Anyway, I'll call you. Okay? Listen, I love you. You're the best. You hear me? You're the best. All right. I'll see you soon. I'll call you. Thanks, Don. Don Berlin's great guy, man. Great guy. Hell of a guy, man. You ain't gonna never make friends like this. All right, let me put this. This guy's a new guy. Church Avenue Dan. Let me see what Church Avenue Dan has to say. What's up, Dan?
Hi, Tim.
How's everything?
Same old, brother. Same old. Thank you for your condolences about what happened to my uncle back then in that pizzeria. I mentioned
absolutely.
it.
Yeah. How you making out?
Slow motion, Jim. You know how it is. I'm just an Albanian kid, immigrant parents, Brooklyn, New York. 30 years old, father of two. Slow motion, you know how it is. I got a couple of F's when I was a younger kid, made a few mistakes. 26th of this month makes 10 years I've been a good boy.
Nice.
10 years of trouble. I just try to do the right thing.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but, listen, hey, one day at a time, right?
That's the truth, bro. I mean, listen, would I love to, go back, slap the shit out of him? I'm sorry, slap myself, slap a little sense. But listen, sometimes you got to go to that bad summer camp that they don't let you out until they tell you, and you learn, bro, Some people don't want to admit it. I was a street kid, but I wasn't a evil kid, When you go to jail, you start seeing, like, really just, kind of people are in there, you know what I mean? And then, listen, it either, when you get out, either doesn't bother you and you go back, or, you learn and you're like, you know what? Better to work a 9 to 5 than have to look shoulder to shoulder every time you leave your house, you know what I mean? Who wants to live the rest of their life like that,
And
I'm 38.
Like, and the thing is, look, like you said, look, you grow up. You fall down, you grow up, and if you continue to keep on going down that road, it's either, a death or spend the rest of your life in prison. Now you matured. I mean, listen, there's nothing like having children in your life, because the children make you keep on going.
Yeah, the best. Dan, between me and you, you know what? The time never bothered me. I did one bullet here, another bullet there, thrown in the box for fighting all the time. None of that bothered me. I'm crazy in the head. I like being alone in the box. I liked not having to talk to people because, in jail, you've been there. Everybody in jail owns 10 blocks that are big as this now, but they don't got $8 in their fucking commissary.
And like you said, you know what? Listen, you know what? I'll be with myself. Leave me the fuck alone. Give me a good book. I'll do some push-ups.
Listen, I'm so crazy I even need a book. I'll talk to myself. That's how box in the head I am. I swear to God. The guy used to look at me. He was like, "Yo, man, you never bang the door. You don't complain." I was like, "Is it gonna help?" He's like, "No." I was like, "All right. So why am I gonna just, There's some people, even the toughest. The box will break you. You got to be mentally strong. That's one thing. Me, I could have done my whole bit in the box. Not to sound, but I'm just mentally strong.
Yeah.
Never bothered me. Listen, I like taking a poop by myself. I don't even want to be in a low classification. Yeah. I'm pooping by myself. Always in the Rikers. I was 3 West, high class, always. Because I'm not putting no towel up, pooping. Get the fuck out. Are you crazy? I'll do whatever I got to do to get my own cell. I'll leave it at that. Not to sound tough, but I can't, bro. The stories in there, everyone's this guy, that guy. Meanwhile, like I said, bro, they got $3 in their commissary. They're broke. They're broke. They're hoping you toss them a soup. I was like, I'm done with this place. This is, they can keep that, No girls. You know, you're a young guy. You want to see girls.
Yep. No girls.
Nothing.
No loved ones. You got to make a phone call. They got to send you money. I mean, you're looking for a visit.
Yeah.
You know how
that.
it is. Yep.
You know, nobody visits, nobody writes you, but as soon as you get out, everybody's your friend. Oh, there's church.
Yep.
I gotta be his friend again. Meanwhile, when I'm inside, no one even asks my mother, "Hey, how's Dan?" No, but you know what? You live and you learn, Jim. You know, I'm just glad I got that in my mid-20s, late 20s. Now, like I say, hey, 30s, all right. Maybe it's not as flashy the lifestyle, but like I said, I don't mind. I'm a father now. I do not mind. I welcome it. I welcome these slow, boring days. You know, sincerely, I do, because you know. But
What part of BK you in?
you know, Church Avenue. That's what my name's, Church Ave Dan.
Okay.
I'm a Church
I
Avenue.
got you.
I'm on Church and McDonald through and through.
Okay.
This used to be Gallo territory. Everyone used to think it was President Street, but this, back in the days, Mo, it was the Wild Wild West. You had 40 Albanians on one quarter, 40 Italians, all of them looking for the same scheme. And everyone's sneaking over to do a scheme for this guy will take less money than that guy over there. It was a show here back in the days, bro. It was a show. It was a show back in the days, bro.
I tell you, that's something.
Yeah. I mean, you really moved me that night with Tommy, because if I'm not mistaken, Tommy is from Sunset Park. You know, that's where I believe he was originally from. And my uncle, the one that got killed, I think he literally lived like 2 blocks away from him. And looking at Tommy and my uncle, they were probably roughly the same age.
Yeah,
so like
knew each other.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why it like blew my mind. And you know, a lot of people always glorify this life. You understand?
You know what? That's the thing. You know what? These people, look, like people talk about, obviously, you know my situation, you know something about me, you know, and the thing is, look, you know what? I mean, I don't know if you saw my last video with my friends that, you know what I mean? I have a lot of friends that were murdered, some of them overdosed and stuff like that, young age, you know? And when you're in these neighborhoods growing up, these are the men we look up to. We don't look up to bankers and brokers. You know, we look up to bank robbers and people who hurt people.
Yeah.
Saying, because those are the people that are in the neighborhood. Those are the people that are glorified. The bad guy is glorified. The good guy is no good. That's the way it is. And then when you grow up, then when you grow up, you realize, you know what the fuck was that? I mean, I'm brainwashed over here. They're telling me root for the bad guys and the good guys are no good, you know? And you know, then, you know, you find yourself, you know, fucked up in a jail cell. I'm saying, and you know, you say, and then especially with me, it's like my own friends kill my best friend. I'm like, you know,
that's got to be between me and you. That's got to be, I think, the hardest thing to know that it was part, like you guys tattooed your leg. And listen, exactly. I understand. Spiro was a guy that when he said something, you listen. I get it. I get where they could say, hey, it was either him or us. But what I never understood is, why not give the chance to run? Give him a heads up. Say, yo, this is a fucking pier tonight. Be gone. We're gonna disappear. Wait till the shit blows over. They didn't even give the poor kid that chance. Now, not to say he wasn't a street kid, because you know, we put out what comes back. You know, karma is a mother effer. You know, but that always, in my personal opinion, that I feel like that had to hurt you deep inside to know that it was a part of the home team that did that work. You know what I mean? That's not easy to swallow, bro. Like,
you know what it is, Dan? It's because, look, see, I know what went down and I know what happened as far as Paulie G. Paulie G protected us. He would never ever kill us. He would never kill a friend. And you know what? What happened was he opened up the door to them. And Paulie G always told me, he said, you know what? When they kill me, I want it between the eyes. That's what he told me. I want to see it. He used to tell me, I want to see it. I want it right here. And you know what? They asked him for a glass of water. Okay, and they put it in back of his head. You know what? They should have gave it to him between the eyes, because that's the way he wanted it. I mean, that's how cowardly they were.
You know what?
Saying,
I was gonna.
takes us for a glass of water.
They weren't built to put that work in that way. See, a lot of people, and once again, I don't want to refer to myself. I don't want anyone to think I'm talking about myself, but there's a difference when you got to shoot someone in the leg or stomach, and there's a difference when you got to hit someone with a kill shot. Not everyone is man enough. Especially, let me tell you this, and this is a real thing that I don't care what anyone says. I know because I'm a man's man. A lot of men have to be on certain drugs to do real work. Also, a
Oh,
lot of guys,
absolutely.
believe. Listen to me, bro. A lot of guys didn't have that stomach naturally. Guys in the 50s, 60s, those were men. You had guys pressing buttons, two, three, four, 5 buttons a month. They didn't have to get drunk and on cocaine and drugs to do work. You get it? But I put myself in that spot, man, and I'm like, that's like getting stabbed in the heart. And once again, I get it. When Spiro talks, people listen. I get it. When he told you to do something, hey, but you know what? If that's your best friend, man, at least, you could have at least tried to give the kid the heads up.
Yep.
At least up. You know what I'm saying? The kid could have at least disappeared. I wish someone gave my uncle the heads up. My uncle was a civilian. During the Colombo Wars, and that's why I say it, a lot of innocent civilians got hurt. And, once again, I blame that on drugs. I think people wanted to prove themselves in an era when you were still allowed to be a cowboy. Because my uncle got smoked January 4th, 1992. And that was literally a very bad week. If you go back to that week, during the middle of the Colombo Wars, people were getting smoked left and right. You had Vito Guzzo out there putting work in. You had the Giannini crew putting in work. It was
Yes.
crazy. It was nuts. And growing up as a kid, it was 5 days before my 8th birthday, and he was like my father figure. You know what I'm saying? My dad was an immigrant Albanian working 2 jobs. My uncle was a little more of a street guy, but he worked. You know what I mean? He would cut a corner. He was a working man. And I think it gave me a lot of PTSD, and I think people don't realize you don't have to go to war to suffer PTSD. There's plenty of people out here that are traumatized from being a child, hearing gunshots go off, seeing someone get killed. Stuff like that is not meant for a little kid to see. 5 days from my 8th birthday, I'm supposed to be celebrating. I'm not supposed to be in a room full of everyone crying, 30, 40, 50 people crying. Then as I got older, I learned a lot about that. Like I found out who ran that pizzeria. Like, do you know that pizzeria? Are you because it's a very famous pizzeria. It's called Original on Ralph Avenue.
Uh,
Original Pizza.
I heard of it. I heard of it. That's nowhere near my neighborhood. I'm saying but
Yeah.
I heard of it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, that's where he got smoked. Basically, 3 guys came in. I think one guy came, Uncle got the best of him, and I think maybe they did try to give him a warning. I think the guys that worked there said, "Listen, you should get out of here. You should leave."
And
These
this is
guys are.
and this happened like what, 4 or 5 years ago?
No, this is in 1992.
1992. Okay.
Yeah, January 4th, 92. This is when, like I said, this is when the Columbos were at war, man. This was, and all throughout
Was
my
any,
life, all I heard was it was like
was
a
anyone
mistaken identity.
yeah, was anyone ever charged with this?
No, never, never, never. That's where Albanians, we have something called jak, and jak means blood. Many of the Sicilians that follow certain codes, and whether they want to hear this or not, but they're really Albanian blood codes you follow. Because we came to Sicily 500 years ago. If you go to Messina, you go to Santa Claranita Gelda, we're called the Arboresci. We were persecuted for being Catholics in Albania because that's when the Muslims took over. But we have something called jak, which means blood. When you spill our blood, it's mandatory for us to spill back. You understand? It doesn't matter, it's 30 years. Between me and you, I would 110% go right back to prison, as sad as that is to say. just for the honor of my family. And even if anyone, you know, I've gone so nuts, bro, where I've almost got arrested going into a precinct, screaming at everyone like, "What the fuck you guys doing the last 30 years?" I literally almost got arrested. They were like, "This kid's fucking crazy." They were like, "It was like, kid, it's not even. It's 30 years old. The case. You got to go to cold case in Manhattan." I said, "Why don't you fucking go?" You know, like I'll go bots in there. I literally almost got arrested in there. I still to this day can't swallow it. You know, I still have PTSD. To this day, I still want to take back blood for the blood that was spilled from my house.
Of course,
you know what I mean? Like these, you know, these are things, and it's sad to say, because you know what? What's written is written. You understand? What's gonna be is gonna be. You can't change that. And I totally understand, but it's one thing to swallow and take a loss, but it's another know that the last 30 years, these three guys been partying, or maybe not, you know, because as I got older, I think the guy that ran that place was a good old guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how anyone can come into a good old guy's place and put work in like that and not pay repercussions for it, which is something that is always in the back of my mind too. You know what I mean? Because you just can't do that. You know, you can't go into a good old guy's spot and drop a body and think nothing is going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, it is today. Today, people are more like cowboys, especially in 1992. You know, I mean, you had a lot of cowboys
They were
back
meant.
then, and the thing of respect was disintegrating. I'm saying there wasn't too much more respect. You know, respect was going out the window. You know, as you know, same thing with trust. You can't trust nobody. You know, but listen, my heart breaks for you, and you know what? I think your uncle would. You know, I think you know you believe in God. Of course you do, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know,
Of
God
course,
is good. They say. You
you
know.
believe in a higher power. You believe in something, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
of
there's
course. Yeah.
but look, your uncle would definitely, okay, looking down, and you know what? You're gonna look. You have kids now. He wouldn't want that for you. I tell you that. I'm saying he wouldn't want you to get the revenge. You know, whatever it is, look, just keep on living your good life and doing the right thing. You know,
Yeah.
I
You know,
know it.
it's
Look, and look, I know it bothers you. And look, you're a man. If it look, you wouldn't be a man if it didn't bother you. You know.
Mo. I called that guy, that A-Light guy. I
Yeah.
made him and the Borello kid. They both came over here to Brooklyn just to go talk. You understand? Because I was on the warpath. Cause like you don't understand. Like you know, I'm from the biggest clan there is. From all Albanian houses, I'm the biggest last name. We're all animals, boy. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like to say a lot on these things, but you know,
Yeah.
that's how serious. You
Yeah.
know,
Don't
Gene
don't
had to
say
pull
too.
up. Other people throughout time had to pull up. You understand? Like, but it's true. Like you're right because I feel like if God wanted me to find out, I would have known by now. And you know, me watching you, you know, seeing how you dealt with stuff like that, like you know, losing a dear person, you know, you give people hope without knowing. You know what I mean? Because like I watch you and I'm like, you know, he's doing the right thing. Why can't I? You know, but it's hard because it's very hard to swallow it still. You know, like I said 30 years, bro. It's been literally 30 years. 30 years, and I still have a hard time, Jim. I
How
still,
old are you?
you
How
know,
old are your kids,
uh, my big boy is 6, and then my other son, he's 5.
bro? That's it. You got a whole new life now. I'm
Yeah, I
saying
know.
that.
It's you're right. You're right.
Saying you have a whole new life now. That's it. I mean, those. Listen, you got to take care of yourself and take care of your kids.
Yeah, yeah, it's the truth, bro.
You
Just,
know, but listen, I understand you. You know what I mean, because I know you got a lot of heart. I can see it in you. I can see it in you, and I can see that. You know what? You know, I
because
I see the anger. I mean, I see the hurt. You know, I see the pain. You know, but
that's what
you know,
kills you. Because when you want to let it out, and listen, don't get it twisted. I can go anywhere and start smashing up clubs, throwing random people a beating, make it real hard for people in certain areas. But that doesn't make anything better. You get it? My
it's not
father
gonna
raised
be.
My father raised a good son. You know, I'm the guy that'll hold the door for your mother when she's 50, 60 feet behind me. Because I see her coming out the peripheral. I'm the kid that'll hold the door. You know, I come from good parents, good family. But, you know, like I said, man, it sucks. It sucks. And, you know, I always hoped that eventually somebody was going to turn rat and rat out who did that. Because, you know, if you look at the Colombo family during that war, a lot of them became informants, you know. I always thought eventually down the road, somebody would have said something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What it's tough, man. It's a tough pill to swallow, Jim. But you know, I just want you to know, you know, your show helps people like me, brother. Believe it or not, it sincerely does. You know, to know that, you know, you too had to swallow something that didn't taste well and move on, and you know what I mean. Congrats to you, bro. You know, you're doing a beautiful thing out here, man. You know, believe it or not, you know, there's nights when I'm just raged up and I'll watch your show and I'll start laughing at something you'll say, or you know, just hearing about neighborhoods. You know, I'm a neighborhood guy. I'm 38, but I got an old soul. You know what I mean? I was 6 foot when I was 12, so I look like I was 20 at 12. You get it?
Yeah.
I was 6 foot when I was 12. I was always with older guys, but
But Dan, listen. You know what? I got 4 people in the chat. And
of course,
look,
brother, of course.
Look, just take care of yourself and look, you know what? Email me, therealjimmycalandra@gmail.com. Okay?
100%,
And stay in touch, okay?
you got it,
And
my
maybe,
man.
and maybe we'll go for lunch or something.
Anytime, brother. I'm always here on church.
Okay? And look, just do me a favor. Just take care of yourself and take care of those kids, okay? Those kids are number one.
Yeah, the half Sicilian, half Albanian.
Take care of those kids because those kids need you. Remember that.
Of course, my brother. Of course.
Right?
100%. Jim, you're a gentleman, my brother.
Take care.
Have a great one.
See you soon. It was a pleasure. All right, I have Dan Berlin. Let me talk to Dan. I see Joey Smokes. Hey, Dan, how's everything?
Yes, Don. How are you?
Don, how's everything?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. That was a great story. Great story. Dan, he's a very, very good guy. Really a good guy. And you could hear the sadness in his voice. You could hear the trauma of what he was sharing to everybody. And really moving. And Dan, God bless you. And you know, I've always said that you cannot close the door in the past. You know, you can't, but you also can't live in the past either. And you got to find a way to move on. And you know, your point, Jimmy, about his kids and his uncle who passed away, who was killed, and what have you. I think in my world, you know, I'm a strong believer in God and what have you. I think that God, in many ways, and his uncle looks down from the heavens and says, you know, I want you to take care of my grandchildren, and that's your job. You know, you can't do anything to bring me back, and you can't do anything to try to find the people killed, and you got to move on, and that's hard. I get it. I get it. How hard it is, because one of the attractions of when Mike the Painter, he's a great guy too. He's a funny guy.
Good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, good guy, funny guy. The coach, another funny guy. You know, and those guys, they like, you know, going down memory lane and looking at the old neighborhood and what have you. And you know, why is it? I love doing that, and the reason is because the olden days were good days. They were safe days. They were fun days. There was a sense of completeness and neighborhood and friends, and that has all changed for good, bad, or different. You know, today. So I feel for Dan, you know, and the others who talk about, you know, their losses and what have you, and including your own. You know, you were talking about Paulie G and what have you. You know, what you're really saying more than anything else, the word I heard you say more than anything else was, you know, this was the ultimate act of betrayal by his best friends. Okay.
100%. Yep.
Yeah, the ultimate act of betrayal.
Yep.
You know, if he
100%.
was, yeah, you know, and you know, friendship is not supposed to be or have any ingredient of betrayal. It's supposed to have loyalty. It's supposed to have fidelity until the very end, not betrayal anywhere, no matter what anybody might tell you. And yet that's the lifestyle. That's why it's such a wicked lifestyle, you know. I told you in one of my notes here, you know, I served 4 tours in Afghanistan, lost a lot of friends, a lot of friends. I lost my partner who died in my arms. This week, I'm going to Arlington to bury another friend, my closest friend. It's not easy. I get that. And this particular friend, Rich, you know, he's 48 years old, has 2 children that are left behind, ages 3 and 4. But when what happened to him, a friend of mine and I got together and said, we're not going to stand for this. We're not going to just sit idly by and say, poor Rich, poor Rich. You know, we stepped up and we created this GoFundMe page and what have you. We raised over $300,000 for his family, for his 2 kids. You know, that's what a friend does. That's what a friend does, you know. And so, Dan, you know, speaking back to him for a moment, I get where you're at. I do. I hear the PTSD. I hear, you know, the nightmares that you must have over what happened 30 years ago. But I also hear a lot of hope in your voice, too. I really do, for your 2 kids. And I know what it's like, you know, when you have small children who look up to you. They didn't count on being brought into this world. You brought them in, you know. So God bless you, Dan. You're a good guy. You really are. So,
Well, you know what, Dan? I'll tell you, you know what? It's people like you that make other people better. You know, listen, I came into this YouTube not knowing what to expect. I know I was going to get some kind of, you know, they were going to slam my name. But listen, I have a lot of good people following me. And listen, they became a part of my family. This is my circle, and you're one of them.
I
And
appreciate
you know, all the love you send me, and you know, we have you send me emails. You're very knowledgeable. You're a God-loving person, and it's people like you. This is the reason why I do this. You know,
yeah,
so
yeah, and you know, not only does it helps, you know, thousands of people. I mean, you get a lot of views and whatever. Not only that, but reviews. You have over 70,000 returns and so forth, and about 48,000 people that are viewing. So there are a lot of people who pass through these videos that see you and hear your message and what have you. If you can save 1 or 2 of them from going back to doing what they once were doing, then you've completed your purpose on earth. You really have. And you've made the amends that you have been trying to make for all the things which happened to you in the past. You know, this is, you know, your channel has really become a story about, I used to call Jimmy Calandra the comeback kid. Okay. I always told you that, you know, because you are the comeback kid, you know. But it really is a story about reconciliation, about resolution. It's a story about, you know,
redemption.
for redemption and forgiveness. You know, the hardest person for people like Dan and others that are very similar to him, you know, his story is not unique. It isn't. His story is not unique. Um, his story is compelling, but is not unique. Um, and but it's a story where he has to get to a place, if he's going to get any way of getting beyond this, where first and foremost he can forgive himself. It's easy to forgive other people, but it's hardest to forgive ourselves for what we did, not only to ourselves, but to our friends, to our families. You know, that's the hardest thing to do. And it takes a lot of work to do that. And, you know, I told you before, pardon me, Mr. Bentley's upset. Why are you upset? Anyway, he doesn't forgive himself. That's the problem. He's after the birds. Anyway, the hardest thing about forgiving yourself is trying to understand what you may have, what you may have done wrong or what have you. But I think at the end of the day, for people that have gone through the trauma like that Ed has gone through, or that Dan has gone through, excuse me, that's the only way you're going to get beyond it. Otherwise, as I said to you before, you will live a life dancing with the ghosts of your past, and that is no way to live. That is no way to live.
Yes, and thank you for that. That's listen, it really hits home. You give me a lot of knowledge when you talk, and you're one of my you're a guy that I look at you as a teacher.
Well, it's very kind of you. I'm your age, so I'm not that wiser than you are, and I've not been through what you've been through. Our experiences are different, and yet they're very unique. I mean, both of us have been through highly traumatic events and what have you. I've been able to get through it my way. I can only share with you my own experience, my own strength, and my own hope. Everybody gets through it their own way. I'm not saying that I have the patent pending on how to deal with grief. And the way you're doing it is helping others, and that's really, really important. You're doing a great job.
And you know what? It makes me feel good. Knowing that people look forward to a Sunday, and we could all get together. And, if you want to come on, if something's bothering you, you want to share it with us. That's what we're here for. Because you know what? There ain't no more friendships out there like they used to be. You can't trust people no more. And people don't want to be in other people's company no more. It's a different world we're living in.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Yeah. It is. It's part of it is because of COVID. Okay, it's going to be created. It's a terrible isolation. It's going to have a very profound effect on the sociology of people's interactions in the coming years. But COVID definitely had a damaging effect in that regard. But even before then, the iPhones, the iPads, all the other bullshit that kids do and whatever, it isolates them. It's like your story, I mean, and same with me, when I grew up, there was going outside the house, playing in the street, playing football, going to the park, hanging out, that was, going to the bowling alley. There wasn't any other bullshit. I mean, I don't remember anything like you were talking about at the bowling alley. It was just bowling alleys, bowling balls.
Now you go to the bowling alley. Look, the bowling alley is a bar. Okay, you have a bar in the bowling alley. Look, if you want to eat, they have a menu that you press a button and the waitress comes to where you are. Okay, and
it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. So what they did was they put all this business structure into the bowling alley. It's all business. I
remember the bowling alley I grew up with, which I grew up in northern Illinois and northern Wisconsin, where it's cold. I mean, cold. But anyway, so they had a bowling alley called the Strike and Spare. Now, this is a 50-lane bowling alley, 50 lanes, okay? But all they had there were shoes and bowling balls. That was it, and the parking lot. There wasn't anything else. That was the entertainment. Yeah. All this other stuff that you were talking about, I never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, it's insane. And I'll tell you,
it's like Disneyland inside the bowling alley. Hello? I don't know if you can still hear me. You've frozen, but I'll keep talking, and hopefully you'll come back. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'll come back.
Yeah,
I got it. Just hang in there. This happens sometimes with my Wi-Fi, and then it goes back.
Got it. I hear you good.
Yeah, but Don, listen, it's always a pleasure to have you. Okay, you're one of the guys that are very special to me. I'm just letting you know. Okay,
I
because
appreciate it.
you give me, you send me wise words, and your emails are very touching. They touch my heart.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, I'm working 15 hours a day now, as I told you, on the Russia Ukraine situation. So I'm in a skiff all day long, but call me anytime. Leave a message and I'll call you back. I need a break sometime during the course of the day. It's just crazy times right now, just crazy. So call me anytime. I left you my number.
Yeah, I love to come see you sometime, maybe with my children, come
Yeah,
up there for a
well,
day or two. Spend some time with you. Show me the farm or something,
yeah,
a different way of living.
It is. It is. It's beautiful. And not only that, but they love the swimming pool and they can play with the dogs and walk them in the forest because I'm tired of doing it.
And my kids love animals, and we're animal lovers.
We got plenty of them. They can ride. Do they like horses?
Oh, they like every animal there is. My kids love animals.
Well, I'll teach them how to ride. They come down here to Virginia, to the Blue Ridge, and I'll teach them how to ride horses, play with the dogs, go swimming, hike in the forest. They won't see any people here. There's just animals and trees.
Look, the summertime, let's do that.
Yeah. Now listen, I promise you, I'll pick you up at the train station. It's up to you to make it to Penn Station. You'll probably get murdered on your way going there, like Mike the printer said. But just get in a Brinks truck and get down there. Or I'll send an APC and pick you up at where you live.
But look, hey, it's always a pleasure. I'll be in touch.
All right, take care. God bless you, my friend. God bless your kids. Give them a hug for me.
God bless you, Don, and your family, and it's always a pleasure.
Thanks. Take care. God bless.
Bye. All right, bye-bye. Don Berlin, he's the best. Don Berlin is this guy's a really great guy, man. God bless him. I see Tony Marie saying, I'll cook you guys, Boston J. Boston J would love to taste your cooking, Tony Marie. But let me talk to New York Dad.
There we go. Oh! Hold on.
New York Dad, what's up, baby?
I was relaxing in the green room for a little bit.
How's everything? Where's my sneakers?
They're all here. These are all yours. You didn't know?
Huh.
What's going on?
How'd you do with that the send off?
What send off? What are we talking
about? You said you had 3 pairs of sneakers.
Oh, the giveaway?
Yeah, the giveaway.
I gave away 2 already. I got 1 more on the 24th. It's my wife's birthday.
Oh, nice. My daughter's the 26th.
I got a lot of good news the past week.
Oh, good.
For my first event that I'm going to host, my first sneaker event I'm going to host. That's a big thing in the sneaker community. For an event, Jersey Shore down in Seaside.
Now, how do you host an event like that? Do you got to bring all your sneakers?
No, you just go. You present yourself as the YouTube personality that for the sneaker event, and you host it. You get people to come. They put me on their flyers. They put me on all their advertisement, and people come. And then everybody they have tables set up in the venue, and all these tables are resellers. They all have sneakers, and they're gonna have vintage clothing and things like that over there. It's supposed to be in June 25th. I'll give you all the news when we get closer. I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, send me the information.
No, I just wanted to come on. I was on my way home earlier when you were on. You were talking. You've spoken about it a couple of times about the old timers. Now I'm going to tell you where I came from. I a lot of people were raised by their grandparents, and I'm one of them. I had different grandparents. My grandparents were different. My grandparents lived on Arthur Avenue for almost 40 years. My mom was born on Arthur Avenue in the Bronx. Most of my aunts, they were all born on Arthur Avenue. Now thinking about it, and my grandfather was a gangster. He was all out gangster, and my grandmother was a bookie. And my grandfather, when they didn't pay, they thought they were going to take advantage of my grandmother and not pay. My grandfather was the muscle. My grandfather used to go collecting. And I wouldn't trade them up for anything in the world. My grandparents were gods to me. I see my grandmother was a saint. My grandfather was a god to me. He raised me. And, you know, he was a professional boxer. His brother, he had a couple of brothers, and they were into a lot of gangster stuff. I remember growing up, my uncle was the only man in Puerto Rico's history to ever stage a shootout in a courtroom and walk out of the front door. Okay, they searched for him for about 8 years. He did 20 years out of it. Was a double homicide, and he did 20 years out of that in federal prison. He was my family's last name is big in Puerto Rico. And you know, they were just gangsters. When people talk about gangsters and they talk about the history, they're not like monsters. Gangsters are not monsters. They're just, you know, they're built a little different, man. They're built a little different, and they don't take shit from nobody, especially those from back in the day. My grandfather died 2 years ago in October. He was old. He died of dementia, and that's the way you want to go when you're a gangster. You want to go in your bed, and they never hurt anybody that wasn't in that life. All right, that's another big misconception that people have, that gangsters go after anybody that's around, and they're no. When you go down, and you go down by a gangster, it's because you're in that life. You know what I mean? There's certain ways that things shouldn't go down, especially what happened to your friend. That shouldn't went down like that. If you're a friend with somebody for years, bro, loyalty means everything in that life. You know what I mean? For a lifelong friend to take out a friend, that's straight up wrong, bro. Straight up wrong. And every time I think about it, and every time you talk about it, it pisses me off, because they shouldn't have went out like that. Your boy shouldn't have went out like that.
I know.
Yep. You know what I mean? And I know you loved him and everything. And listen, I heard his name rang bells when I was growing up. His name rang bells when I was growing up. Your name rang bells when I was growing up. You know, I remember a lot of guys from the neighborhood. Noel Modica. I don't know whatever happened to him, but I remember Noel Modica. He used to have the bakery. And, you know, I knew a lot of people from the neighborhood. And it's just, I just want people to understand they have a big misconception of the lifestyle. You know, you're not going to hurt anyone that's not in that lifestyle. They don't just kill anybody for the hell of it. And people think that. People out in the street, regular Joes, regular squares, think that, you know, oh my God, they're going to come after me. And then, you know, these people, no, it's not even like that. It's within your own. Oh my God, my kids are screaming. You hear my kids?
Well, listen, hey, let me get
Yeah, we're gonna let you get everybody on. Yo, go subscribe to New York Dad. I teach everybody about getting sneakers. When you can't get sneakers, it's hard. It's very hard to get sneakers nowadays. All right, Jimmy, thank you for having me on, bro.
New York Dad, listen, hey, thanks for coming on. Okay, I'll see you soon.
Always a pleasure.
All right, brother. Bye. New York Dad. I got Joey Smokes next. Joey Smokes.
What's my man.
How's everything?
Good, man. I just started painting. I started working out today, and I started adding out my life, and I started painting, which is really nice and tranquil. I painted like all night last night, man. Just starting to learn it, you know what I mean? Acrylic and stuff.
What's up, baby? How's everything with you?
Good, baby. I was listening to some of your callers, and that's what that thing is. You know, you got a lot of inner circle repping out here too in the chat, man. You know, Sherry, Rich, Morella, hey man, you guys, hey. And Don, we know he's an inner circle. And this is the thing, you got, some people that came on here to coach that you ain't even meet yet. There's all kind of, like I told you this before, so many people watching you. You influence so many people in a positive way. They love your story, but they also like your journey that you're having. You're still on this journey. And like the guy was calling. He lost his uncle. Look, I lost a good friend. He got killed. We were going to start helping with his landscaping. I was doing construction. When I got there, I went to the house. We were supposed to hook up. Found out he was dead. He was like an uncle to me. All right. So he got killed. They still didn't solve the murder. So these things happen. And it's easy. And I understand it because I do know what he's talking about. I have some Albanian friends and different people. I heard what he's talking about, that blood, that blood thing. But the thing is, he's got to, like Don said, he's got like revenge will eat you up. Revenge, if that's, that'll eat you up. Like even Michael in Francis had something he posted about revenge. Revenge is not the way you want to live your life. But at the same time, I do understand how he feels, because unless you're in that situation and lived it, like I've lived it like him, I can understand how he feels. I mean, we are human. We are not, there is not a book that says how to live this life. We do have the Bible. I'm talking about there's no roadmap. Everything's not as simple as it sounds. Things can happen today. Things can happen 2 minutes from now to your family, and you might be the smartest man and the most controlled man, but you don't know what you're going to end up doing. Okay, if it affects your family and someone you love, so you don't know. We all built on emotions, and sometimes it happens. Now, when you sign up for something and you know that could happen, but when you're out here and you're not signed up for it and it happens, it's a whole different thing. And when it happens to your family, your loved one, there's no roadmap. There's no easy answers sometimes. Those cowards that did that to your friend, that's what they were, okay? But like I said, there's no easy answers. There's no roadmap to this stuff. We learn as we go sometimes.
But the thing with revenge is, if you seek revenge, you might as well just dig yourself a hole too.
That's right. Because you're right. You're carrying that with you. Anger, all that stuff, you carry with you. It can eat you up. And at the same time, I just talked to a friend last night. He's going through a hard time. His mother died. He still is not over. He's from Europe. He's not over it. And he's not even taking care of it. He told me, Joe, I think I want to end my life. I said, listen, don't have no pity party with me. I said, you're not going to end your life. I said, this is what's going to happen. I said, you're going to get up tomorrow. You're going to do what you got to do. And you're going to do what you have to do. You fight every fucking day. You don't fucking end your life. You fight every fucking day. That's when you got to fight harder. So I sent him some David Goggin videos. I sent him some motivational shit. And he said, when you text me back, Joey, that's why I came to you, because I know you're genuine. You care and understand. I said, listen, you ever fucking feel like that, you call me. Because there's a lot of people out here struggling with shit. They ain't, and I told him, your mother's with you. She would not want you to do this. He said, I can't even pay the taxes on my home. I might lose. I said, listen, fuck that. You're going to go make an arrangement. You're going to go work Monday, Tuesday, get your new job. And guess what? You're going to pay all that. Then you're going to find what you love to do in life and do that. Because every day you hear is another chance to do. There's no easy answers. It sounds easy sometimes. It's not. But I told him it's not going to be easy. But you're going to get up and fight. You're going to keep the eye of the tiger. That's what life's about. Not giving up. Not fucking giving up. There's people battling shit here every day. Every day, Jimmy. Just like you and me. And I'm the type of person, I'm a protected person. So you come at me or come at someone I love, trust me, it's gonna be on like the crack of dawn. But I'm gonna tell you, some days I have to, I have to meditate. I have to get back into myself, because we all have that tiger in us, that warrior in us. If you live this type of life, who had tragedy, who have suffered abuse and everything, you're coming out a certain way, okay? And you won't come at things a certain way, especially if you don't fear dying. That's the one thing. If you don't fear dying, you're really going to be dangerous. But then you're also going to be stupid sometimes, okay? So you can't have courage like a cowboy, okay? It's called a graveyard courage. You got to be smart out here, okay? So the thing I'm saying is, you got a lot of good people watching here. And I told you this months ago when I talked to you about the inner circle and getting and coming up to a different level. And now you see the people that are coming on, telling you the stories and inspirational to you. And you're making good friends. God's blessing you. Look at Don. You can go out on the ranch. You can go out and enjoy that type of lifestyle for a minute. Let me tell you, these are gifts God is blessing you with. These people are really gifts. These experiences are gifts God has given you, because what you're doing is helping change other lives, and it's also transforming your life. You said when you came on, this was therapeutic. This was therapy for you at first. But look what now that therapy is doing for you. See? It's a blessing. That's why I told you stay out of the gutters, stay out of those gutters, because at the end of the day, you're going to rise to the top. Okay? Cream rises to the top. Okay? You don't need that. You need to keep going on the course you're going, and you're seeing now every day what it's doing to you. If you'd have stayed in that other type of stuff, it's not good from there. It's not positive. Now you're seeing the fruits of your labor, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better, brother, and I love you. That's all I want to say on that, you know. And like I said, all the people that came on today, it's beautiful, man.
And Joe, I love you too.
You know,
and I love
you,
mom.
brother. I know she loves you to death, man. She loves you to death. Mom, she wants to hear you. She wants to hear. She puts the phone like 2 inches from her eyes when she's watching you because she can't see. And she's listening to you, man. Hey, man, I love you, man. And like I said, you know, and thank you too for your advice, because what you do, you know, you do a lot of things for me. And, you know, you encourage me, and you always give me some wise words too. You know, we try to do that with each other. That's what friends do. You know, when you're down, I throw you the rope. When I'm down, you throw me the rope. That's what we do.
I don't want to see you ever go down that rabbit hole.
You know it. I know, me neither. Not you either.
Well, listen,
hey,
it's nice talking to you. Okay, hopefully I'll see you by the summertime or something. We'll be sitting down, having dinner together.
You know it.
And
all right, man. I'll see you soon, brother, and I appreciate you and love you, brother.
Someone's saying hello to you. Someone's saying hello to you. Someone's saying hello to you.
Sherry? Is that Sherry? Who's saying hello? I can't see because my phone is dim on here. Who's saying hello?
Love me some Joey D.
Oh, Sherry? Hey, hey, Sherry, yeah, and definitely coming out there to give me some really good Italian food, you know what I mean? Jimmy, too. We're going to go over to Sherry's and get some really good home-cooked food. All right?
Yeah, Sherry has a story to tell. I'm going to be talking to Sherry. Definitely. Sherry eventually is going to come on here. I'm going to interview her. She's in the circle. Yeah, she has a story to tell that's very interesting. But Joey, listen, I love you, and I'll see you soon, okay?
Hey, man, fist bump, baby.
See you.
See you. Love you, brother.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Joey Dubs is a regular. He comes on here. Great guy, big heart, very big heart, God-loving guy, very knowledgeable, good person. But listen, guys, I'm on over 2 hours. I appreciate every single one of you coming out here and spending time with me and giving me support, and also sharing this moment with all of us. I mean, it's very joyful to just have people come on and you know, talk and, you know, be friendly with each other. You know, I mean, you know, it means a lot to me. It really does. You know, we had over 350 people in the chat. And you know, to everyone out there, just take care of yourselves. God first. Always put God in your life. You know, God will change your life forever. For sure. I mean, listen, He's doing it for me. So until next Sunday, to all you people out there, love you guys. Take care of yourself. Until next Sunday, my next video. I'll see you soon. Okay? Bye, guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. Love yous.